Hello, I hope you're having a good day. I am your host, the MODIFanatic, and in this video I'm going to be showing off my modifications that I've done to my Snowspeeder. And this is the Snowspeeder particularly from 2016, although the modifications still apply to the 2019 one with Luke, and it's like gray colored. So I'll show those both off, and I'll just show kind of the few little things that I've done to just make the Snowspeeder way better. I mean, as we all know, like, LEGO has been constantly just releasing the same Snowspeeder design over and over and acting like they've perfected it, but in truth, that is not the case. So let's get right into it. Alright, so here's the close-up of my modified Snowspeeder. Something I want to point out right away is the cockpit, the canopy. This in my opinion was one of the most crucial redesigns that I had to implement, and this was heavily inspired, if not basically stolen, from the design that BrickVault has of their Snowspeeder. If you just kind of, I'll put a link to that video in the description, and you can see the way that they built their entire canopy, and it just looks perfect. I mean, it really looks just like the actual Snowspeeder, which I'll actually show an image of just so you can really understand what I was trying to go for. Because Star Wars is always, in my opinion, when building in Star Wars, it's all about like complete and total accuracy, because the movies and the ships and every vehicle and character is just so iconic and so recognizable. And if you don't make it the exact way it's supposed to be, it really just falls flat. And so LEGO's design of cockpit was not at all accurate. Yeah, I mean, so the angles here at the front of the windshield, these are much more close the way that it's done in this design, and having it just be much more rectangular is way more alike to the actual Snowspeeder. So, and I'll just show you how the whole thing hinges up like this, goes back just like that, and there's two seats like normal, you know, nothing crazy. So yeah, just the modified canopy there. Simple, but it works really well. I love the fact that it uses this just this window piece right here to kind of get the top windshield kind of a thing. It looks really cool. You kind of see how that's built. It's like a bracket right here, and then some bricks stacked up in a cheese wedge right there to fill that gap. And it kind of moves a little bit, as you can see. Let me just show that. Yeah, it kind of wiggles there. But it works, and it looks great. Now, to show the other thing that was super important in making the Snowspeeders look accurate, were these kind of wedge cutouts right here. And just by taking these white kind of 4x4 wedges, they perfectly fill that space. And really all you need to do is kind of reshape these wings here to allow for some space in there. And I don't even think I had to get any new parts for that. I think I just used the parts in the set and just kind of repositioned them, shifted them over, and it worked. And then what you do is you just take, let me show you, there's these ball joints, and you just put them onto the underside of the wings, and you can hinge those wedge plates in right where you need them. And it's a little finicky to kind of get into position at first, but once you get it, it just looks leaps and bounds better than the official LEGO version. And I understand to some degree why LEGO doesn't do this. It is a little fragile, but I'm a person that, you know, I'll, you know, swoosh my ships around a little bit, but like if I can just plop a ship down and nothing breaks off of it, I think it's fine. I think it's great. So I think this passed the you know, kind of sturdiness test, if you will. I don't think I changed anything else along the back here. It still has these really cool hatches that open up and reveal the air brakes. If you can see this, those are awesome. Those are still there, and they're accurate. So of course I'm going to keep them to be most accurate as possible. And then here, in the Lego version, there's a winch that they put on the back, and that's so you can, you know, tie up whatever AT-AT you want to, and that's perfectly fine. I understand that. Makes total sense. What I decided to do though is I wanted to find a better place for the winch, because to preserve the accuracy, the winch shouldn't be on the back, where this is like more of a kind of a heat exhaust is what it looks like in the film. So I put the winch on the bottom. You can kind of see it sticking out there. And really in the set, there's just this perfect, you know, area that's not used in the back of most of the Snowspeeders. In the 2019 version, I think they had that, I think it's the 2019 version. Maybe it was the Sandspeeder. Maybe it's both. I don't know. But they had kind of that area be somewhat of like a cargo space. You could put the minifigures guns there, you could put the extra studs for the stud shooters. But yeah, I mean, if you just kind of get rid of that space, and you can instead put the winch in there, and yeah, it works really well. You just kind of loosen it up, get that hook out, and then you can just pull it just like the Snowspeeders would. So I think that's a really cool feature, and I love the way I was able to hide that in there. And then once you're done, you just hold it like this, and you just start winching it back. You know, like you always have to. It's a little annoying, but you know, how else are you gonna do it? And then it just kind of slots right back in there, just like that, and it stays. It's really nice. So yeah, that's what I did with the winch. Something I want to point out is in the other Snowspeeder sets, I think they always have these. They have these slopes on the underside here, and they're supposed to function as like kind of the landing gear. Like that's what the ship rests on when you put it on the ground. The only change I made was, I think, to the front one. I just made it a little plate, you know, because then when you put the ship down, it has this forward rake where it's leaning forward. And that, as far as I can tell, is more accurate to the actual movies. I'm not sure if that is completely accurate, but I know at least I like the look of that way more. Just having it kind of look like it's angled just a bit forward, you know, from the side. I think that looks really cool. So, and it's just a super, super simple change. There is absolutely no way I could figure out how to put in, you know, functioning landing gear. If you want that, I mean, you got to redesign the whole ship. So I'm not willing to do that. I don't have the parts to do that. So I just did the best I could. So I think that's pretty nice. And then lastly, this is the last modification I did, was I put these underside air brakes, which are accurate. So they fold out of the bottom there, just like this. And I mean, I don't really use them that much, but I guess you could see that this would be the accurate look, is that when it breaks, it actually breaks on the top and the bottom, like that. This is the top air brake, and then the bottom air brake, because this is an air speeder. So, you know, it's meant to fly in atmosphere and brake in atmosphere. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. And really, those underside air brakes were really simple to add on. It has every Snowspeeder set that I can tell has these slopes that come out of the main body, and I just put a little hinge on there and just attached some fins and flag pieces, sort of. I don't know. So yeah, I think it looks really good, and it's simple. I think I also changed the back cannon just to be a little smaller, not not be so in your face, and also maybe evoke the look of the harpoon just a little more. So you can do whatever you want with that. That's just kind of the design I landed on right there. So yeah, now let me show you what I did to the 2019 version. Okay, so now here with me we have the 2016 version as well as my modified 2019 version. And yeah, I made sure to modify these both at the same time so I could get them both looking just like the other. And yeah, they definitely look really cool together. They look like they belong. The gray one is Luke Skywalker's, of course. Rogue One, I don't know. Rogue Leader. Yeah, that's what they call him. Rogue Leader. Okay. So, yeah, it's the same thing. I have the ball joint hinges there, as well as the air brakes on the back. The winch is hidden in that little compartment there. Yeah, I mean, it's just the same thing. I think there was maybe just some little differences, but that's what's great about the similarity of these sets. I mean, it's like literally years later and they still just make the sets like nearly identical. So it makes it really helpful for someone like me trying to do modifications. It opens up the same way. And in this case, I think I had to modify the back of this a little bit more to be more like the 2016 version, where just the canopy hatch opens up instead of there being also a cargo space behind. And if you want to know how to do that, I mean, you could just look right there. And if you want more specifics, you can of course refer to the 2016, I think it was called the Assault and Hoth manual, and try to skip to where that is. Yeah, I mean, I hope if you want to do a modification like this, I hope you have the pieces to do so. If you have a Snowspeeder, I highly recommend doing this. It makes them look so much cooler, and just way more accurate, which I love. I love all of my ships to just look exactly like the scenes they came from. Yeah, so that's that. All right, so I guess that'll conclude this video. I hope if you have a Snowspeeder, you consider doing some of the modifications that I was pointing out. I think it really improves the look of the speeder, if that's what you're going for. You know, like, people love to make mocks. I love to make mocks. If you're going to make a big Hoth display, you might as well try to make your Snowspeeders look as cool as possible. And yeah, I mean, if you already have the sets, this is a really simple and cheap way to just get good looking Snowspeeders. You don't have to go and buy BrickVault's super expensive, you know, and super highly detailed models. These Snowspeeders will blend in just fine with your other LEGO Star Wars sets and will still look great. So yeah, I hope you really like this video. Yeah, and I mean, it's just a simple modification that you can try out for yourself. And yeah, feel free to just do whatever, build whatever you want, like always. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.